Hey Tonglers, it's time for a brief history lesson on a pivotal moment in independent animation. Back in the early 90s, the MTV network launched a show called Liquid Television, and it created incredible opportunities for independent artists. Liquid Television was a mixed media compilation of weird and wonderful animated shorts made by independent artists, and the show's original broadcast run lasted from 1991 to 1995. The grungy, underground shorts that were featured pushed and redefined the boundaries of animated storytelling on TV, and consequently inspired a generation of young people who were looking for a thrill that mainstream television just couldn't provide. It truly was a lightning in a bottle moment of circumstance, experimentation, and creativity. To fully appreciate what Liquid Television did for this time, it was as though someone curated the darkest and weirdest parts of YouTube, 14 years before YouTube first launched in 2005. It was the razor's edge of rebellious, edgy, and irreverent entertainment, and in an era of sanitized, family-friendly corporate content, Liquid Television's young adult fans just couldn't get enough of it. This raises the question, just who is responsible for Liquid Television? Well, it was conceived by a man named Japhet Asher. Asher had been working different jobs in film and television since he was 21, and by the time Liquid Television premiered under his helm in 1991, he was 30 years old with years of both creative and leadership experience under his belt. It was these experiences on prior productions that gave him an incredible insight which was shared amongst other executives of the time. That insight being, the attention span of your average TV viewer, particularly young people, was getting shorter and shorter. So, the theory went, when applied to Liquid Television's multiple animated segments which made up an episode, if you didn't like the current short, another one, which would be totally different, would be along in a few minutes. Furthermore, if a segment was so inexplicably bizarre and brain-tickling, perhaps an even more compelling one would come next, and before you knew it, you were hooked to see what would be next. The frenetic spirit of Liquid Television can also be traced to an early film festival called Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation, which started in 1990 at UC Berkeley, and later became a traveling roadshow of animated shorts. The importance of this festival cannot be understated. Since back then, it was incredibly hard to view the works of independent artists. Videos weren't recommended to you in an algorithm that you could access at home. You had to really go out of your way to find this content and hope that someone was playing it where you lived. Otherwise, you would never see it. So, heavily inspired by this festival, Liquid Television began to broadcast some of the same shorts, which increased both the viewership and appreciation of those works. Liquid Television can also be credited with helping bring Japanese animation, known as anime, to the attention of Western audiences in the early 90s. Season 2, Episode 5 of Liquid Television showed Running Man, the name of one of the episodes from the 1987 anime anthology feature film Neo Tokyo. Running Man was a dark sci-fi noir about a driver in a futuristic gladiatorial car race that uses his secret telekinetic powers to kill his competitors. You know, just a casual Tuesday. This short, along with the 1988 landmark anime film Akira, definitely contributed to the West's discovery and appreciation of anime. But there's more to Liquid Television than dystopian sci-fi. Chances are, if you were a kid in the 90s, you may have come across the forbidden fruit of the satirical and subversive Beavis and Butthead. Oh yes. Well, wouldn't you know, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge, also found his start on Liquid Television. Early in Judge's career, he created a series of comedic animated shorts that found a home on Liquid Television. One of these shorts was called Milton, named after the character of the same name who was a neurotic office worker. The Milton character would go on to inspire and reappear in the 1999 cult live-action film Office Space, which satirized white-collar office work. The anarchic Beavis and Butthead also had their debut on Liquid Television in 1992. Their first appearance was in a short film called Frog Baseball, and featured the delinquent teens using a live frog as a piece of sporting equipment. It was so delightfully stupid and immensely popular that a Beavis and Butthead series was soon ordered into development, and came to MTV the following year. Its success later spawned a feature film in 1996, and again in 2022. The other heavy hitter to have its debut on Liquid Television was Peter Chung's Aeon Flux, about a morally ambiguous acrobatic female assassin of the same name. She liquidates all who oppose her and has a strange love-hate relationship with the main antagonist, Trevor Goodchild. The show was a startling achievement, not just for its unique visual style with its long-limbed angular character design, but also for its lack of dialogue. Everything we learn from the narrative is conveyed to us through the visuals. The series' enduring popularity later led to a live-action film version in 2005, which starred Charlize Theron. While some of the other segments that appeared on Liquid Television may not have found the same commercial success afterward, the creators responsible for them did. Many use these independent works they created as their own career launchpad to find professional animation work on big network shows like The Simpsons. Ultimately, the legacy of Liquid Television is that it provided independent artists a platform for their unique voice to be heard by a large audience in an era before social media, let alone the internet. Underrepresented talent outside of the Hollywood bubble were able to finally be noticed and elevated because people liked their ideas. It was a democratization of film work that proved even if you were a one-man band or working with minimal budget, you could still find an audience and success as long as your ideas were solid and people liked them. Which reminds me of a certain website. Anyway, thanks for watching, Tonglers. Remember to like and subscribe for more exclusive Tongal content. And if you're a creator, be sure to visit the Tongal website at tongal.com for some exciting opportunities.